Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Wherever you are in the world listening to this message, I can proudly say Dimitri Bivol is the best light heavyweight in the world. I believe he won the first fight, he damn sure won the second fight, and for me, it's the end of Artur Beterbiev because he's not going to get any better. And by the time they come around to have a third fight, he would have slowed significantly and Bivol will beat him again, if not even better still. I knew that Bivol could make the adjustments coming into the third fight, but just for a minute, I want to take a step back. A little step back for those people who don't know much about this channel, the history of this channel. When I decided to get into boxing and start to do all these interviews with all these fighters, Terence Crawford, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, Dimitri Bivol, when I went through these fights, I looked at them. And when I was chasing these interviews for these fighters, I was like, these people I look at, could they become world champions? Could I get them early? Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. Could I get interviews with these guys? Even Bermain Stavern, Deontay Wilder. All these guys I interviewed, I said to myself, all these fighters, could they become world champions? And could they be something special? Well, sure enough, I went to interview those fighters and believed in those fighters. I believed in those fighters when many people would laugh and joke, this guy's not good enough, that guy's not good enough. I remember the time when I was introducing the British public because I was the only one who'd done an interview with Terence Crawford. I did 2 interviews back to back with Crawford. The first time I saw Crawford was when he fought the guy that knocked out Amir Khan. I thought, this guy's going to be something special. And I interviewed him, I spoke to him. And he's a great historian and talked a lot about boxing and where he fitted in the place of boxing, his place in history. And that was after, and then the second interview he did when he beat Ricky Burns. And I remember people saying Ricky Burns would beat Terence Crawford. I thought, I don't think you realise how great Terence Crawford is. Of course, now Terence Crawford has been a world champion, has been undisputed. And then has been undisputed again twice. So, and he's now bidding to be undisputed again. Another young man, Alexander Usyk, he's too small. He's not fast enough. He's too small. He's not good enough. He's not the best. He can't punch. He runs too much around the ring. Undisputed cruiserweight. He can't punch. He's not strong enough at heavyweight. Undisputed heavyweight champion. Keith Thurman, he's not a good unified welterweight champion. So we've got Crawford, we've got Usyk. He's got 2 left feet, can't box. Tyson Fury, unified heavyweight champion of the world. And basically won all the belts in the heavyweight division. Who else? Could we go on? Bermain Stavern, first Haitian heavyweight champion in history. Say what you want about him. He was the first Haitian heavyweight champion and the WBC heavyweight champion to that. Well done. And there's a list of otherwise. Isaac Dogbear, we could go on and on and on of fighters that made BWTM the platform that it was. I can't say is. And all those great interviews. Talking to Muhammad Ali's brother, speaking to Ray Mercer, talking about the history of, Muhammad Ali's history in boxing. So many great interviews. I could go on and tell you, exclusives, but it's because of these fighters. Let's not get it twisted. It's because of these fighters and their backgrounds and the work they've put in that I can sit down very proudly and say it's been an honor to meet all of those fighters. If not meet them in person, then meet them, on Zoom calls or Skype or however I've made those calls and talked to the fighters as well. It has been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And Dimitri Bivol, I said when he beat Pascal, I said, this guy's the best light heavyweight in the world. And they bring other names up, Joe Smith and whoever else was around at the time. And I said, this dude is the best light heavyweight in the world. I remember people talking about Joshua Buatsi this and Joshua Buatsi that and Joshua Buatsi this. No. You know, a guy who I really like and I never got an interview with, I never pushed for an interview with him, was Callum Smith. I've always thought Callum Smith was a quality fighter. Forget the Canelo fight and the Beterbiev fight. They're two outstanding fighters. But I think Callum Smith, you know, who's top guy, super middleweight division when he fought that Super Six, or the World Boxing Series. Callum Smith I've always liked Mondo, always liked him. Like the way he walks to the ring and just his whole demeanour as a fighter. He really truly backs himself. And a spiteful body puncher. You saw it again tonight against Joshua Buatsi. He's got a good chin, good engine, knows how to dig in deep, takes a good shot. You know, he's got good variation of punches, up and down, good to the body, wicked left hook. Good fighter. And I think he's become a better fighter. When he fought John Ryder, that's probably the worst Callum Smith, and he went to America and hooked up with Buddy McGirt, and you could see the difference in this fight. If that Callum Smith had fought Joshua Buatsi would have won that fight, because Buatsi would have backed him up and Smith would not know how to maneuver himself off the ropes, because Smith would just, under Joe Gallagher, just tuck up and just lay on the ropes. So you could see Smith evolve tonight, and he'd spin off the ropes and to box. Joshua Buatsi, and I'm just going on, despite Bivol winning his fight tonight, and kudos to Bivol, I'll come back to him. Joshua Buatsi tonight showed me he's not really improved that much. He's still always open to the right hand, stands right in front of opponents, and gets hit with way too many punches. You can't do that at elite level. You can't do it at elite level. So let's go for this. So Callum Smith getting beaten Joshua Buatsi. The only thing I was surprised about, absolutely, bro. Man, I'm getting the student has become a master. And Uncle Bashir taught me a lot, and from that now I think I've become a little master in my own right. I didn't put any money on anything tonight. I think I'm going to start doing it from now on. I call it IJ's picks. But coming back to Joshua Buatsi, he's not improved, and God forbid Joshua Buatsi went in the ring against Beterbiev like that against Callum Smith. He would have got absolutely smashed to bits. Because Beterbiev is a different kind of punching power. You can't leave your chin in the air against guys like that, or leave yourself open to right. Even Bivol would have smashed you'd have missed living daylights out of Joshua Buatsi. The only thing that surprised me about Joshua Buatsi is the amount of punishment he was able to take. I didn't think he was able to take that amount of punishment, which he did, and I'm really impressed with that about him. But boxing is not about taking punches; it's about giving it and to reduce the amount of punches you're taking. But he just took a shellacking at times. But credit to Smith as well; he did really well. Beterbiev, well, he's 40 years old, so Ajit Kabal, pardon my French, Ajit Kabal beat the shit out of Zile Zhang, and I have to put it in those terms, and I have to use that language for people to understand boxing science. Zile Zhang is good for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in a fight. That's it. And if you're stupid enough to walk on, stay square with Zile Zhang, stand right in front of him and let him leverage that left hand, well, then of course you're going to fall down. That's exactly up to Ajit Kabal. But he knocked Cabal down. Cabal got up and he punched the living daylight. I told you he beat the shit out of him. Many of the people that watch boxing and commentate boxing do not have a clue about boxing, one. And two, they're reading a script that's promoting fighters to sell a card. Very much like the UFC. Zile Zhang is not very good. He's not very good. It's just that Joe Joyce is terrible in terms of defense. So he was slow, and Zhang had faster hands, and Joyce was just walking in straight lines, so that he couldn't make the adjustment to get out of the way. That's why Zhang looked so good. So that's what it is. Hamza Shiraz, I'll come to him in a minute. So yeah, so that's the end of Zhang. Forget Zhang. He's finished. Zile Zhang is finished. I knew that was going to happen to him. I'd just get beaten up. He's a big bully. That's what it is. And Ajay Cabal. Why I like Cabal? Not because I think he's good looking, because some people are kind of funny like that. What I mean by that, be funny like is, oh, because a guy looks good, or a guy. I like Ajay Cabal because he can box. He's got good boxing skills. He moves lateral movements. He can move forward, he can move back, and he can shift to the sides. He's got punching power. He's got good height for a heavyweight. He's got a good chin. He's got good stamina. He is what you call a bogeyman. Let me explain to you what a bogeyman is. He's the guy that fights the guys that nobody else wants to fight, and he beats them. Nobody wants to fight Zile Zhang. Nobody wants to fight Frank Sanchez. And hell, nobody wanted to fight that big, ugly, stiff Abdul Salamov, which everyone was talking about, saying he was a beast, he was that and that. That's what you call a bogeyman. Martin Bakole is not and never will be a bogeyman. Ever, ever, ever. Boxing fans, we've really got to stop this garbage about bogeymen that don't fight nobody and then end up becoming bogeyman. He's never been a bogeyman. He'll never be a bogeyman as long as he's got that style. You know what? If I'm Ajit Kabayal, if I'm Martin Bakole and I'm managing Martin Bakole, first thing he does, he takes Billy Nelson with him, and Billy Nelson brings in a quality trainer, right? He gets a quality trainer. Me personally, I'd bring in James Ali Bashir to work with Billy Nelson. Billy Nelson keeps his mouth shut, takes a cut of the money, and manages Bakole and let what's his name come in and train Bakole, because I don't believe that Billy Nelson is doing Bakole any favors. Honestly, I don't. I don't think he's got a clue. And I like Billy Nelson. I don't think he's got a freaking clue. Do you understand? I don't think he's got a clue. He needs a proper heavyweight trainer in his corner. So, get a James Adebishiri in, get a Stacey McKinley in, get somebody who works with heavyweights in, and work with Martin Bakole. And he could be something in the heavyweight division. I just don't think he's got a great chin. Mainly because he leaves himself open. But Bakole's not got a great chin. He's got shaken up by Michael Hunter. And he got stopped by Michael Hunter. People forget that. Now he's got punched up by Parker. And people say, well, he's overweight. Well, much of a muchness, because at the end of the day, Bakole didn't look any different in that fight than he did against Anderson. Still drops his hand down by his side. Still leaves his chin up in the air. He's just like Jeopardy when you're watching Martin Bakole. I'll never forgive him for what he did against Michael Hunter. And that's that. So I'm shutting the closed door on that one. Hamza Shiraz, I don't know. I think he thought he was Oscar De La Hoya, because he stood in front of... I actually fell asleep. But I think what happened is that guy punched him so hard that he forgot he was in a boxing match, and what his purpose was in there to do is he wanted to make sure that he didn't get knocked out. See, the problem with Hamza Shiraz for me was this: he should never have been made no damn ambassador of anything. He should have been made no damn ambassador of anything. If I were Hamza Shiraz, I'd just focus 110% in becoming world champion. No ambassador, no, forget all of that stuff. Just focus on becoming world champion. Distracted with the Eubank fight and this talk about this and comment. Forget all that. You just become champion. That's it. And then you can be ambassador. Then you can get yourself knocked out and put on a performance like he did there. But I just think it's a combination of, obviously fighting his biggest fight of his career, the pressure being a bit too much on him because everyone expected him to become world champion, right? The fight with him against Ammo Williams, it was. Do you know what I mean? So I just think to myself that he had pressure on him, too much pressure on him, and the other guy was pretty good. You got to give the other guy credit; he was very good. Carlos Damas is a damn good fighter. Damn good fighter. So we need to give him credit for that. It's not like Hamza Shiraz got smashed to bits by... This is your elite level now. You understand? That was his real step-up fight. I didn't get smashed to bits now, did he? So, yeah, I know he didn't give us the result we wanted, but that was his first real taste of elite boxing. He didn't get bashed up. He could have done better. I'd like to see him again get another crack at the middleweight championship of the world. Um, yeah, now he's lost. He's lost. Some guys fight better after they've lost the fight. All the expectations and stuff of him. I don't think Hamza Shiraz thought he'd get as far as he did. And sometimes you can have the situation where other people believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And you catch yourself going, shit, I'm here. Well, how the hell did I get here? I'm just this young boy from Ilford that was only meant to come and become British champion. And shit, I'm fighting for the WBC heavyweight championship of the world. WBC middleweight championship of the world. And yeah, shit, I'm an ambassador and shit. Turkey, I shakes my mate and shit, and all these things are happening. And then I got a guy in front of me who wants to take my off and come punch. I don't want to get knocked out in front of these people. Do you understand? All these things are things that can be in the psyche of Hamza Shiraz. Now he's beaten. He may come back a better fighter. But congratulations. As for Bivol, masterful boxing performance. Expected. Boxed very well. And yeah. And I just think at the end of the day, I thought he won the first fight. I thought he won the second fight. And I don't see Beterbiev winning the third fight, to be honest with you. Nah, not now. That was the best he could give. And that 40 watt, I don't see him being any better. So, there we go. Let's see what people say now. Who you got for Joe's versus White? Both shot to bits, but at this point, I think Joe can edge it. White was terrible against that African. The African was tough. He was teeth tough, and White hadn't fought for a long time. That was a good fight, the African. It just depends if White can roll and find that left hook. If he can land that left hook on Joyce. And Joyce is vulnerable now. And he doesn't fight the same way anymore. I'm going to go White by knockout. Caballero could beat Usyk. We know Usyk doesn't like the body. I don't think so. I think Caballero can beat Usyk. I really do. Congrats to Bivol. I had a draw. Usyk won't fight Caballero though. No chance. I predicted Beterbiev on points. And at 7-5, the first time I predicted Bivol to win this time, and he won 7-5. Bivol just entered his prime now. He smashes Benavidez. I don't know. I'd like to see Callum Smith versus Benavidez though. I really would like to see that fight. That's just a fun fight to see. The mix of styles and everything. Love to see that fight. I'd even like to see Beterbiev versus Benavidez. That'd be a great fight as well. I'd rather see that than Bivol Benavidez. Bivol is a beast. I'd rather also see Canelo versus Benavidez as well. So, yeah, those are my thoughts right there. Is there anyone else I didn't talk about tonight? Shiraz, Boatsy Smith, Ajit Kabayel, Bivol, Hamza Shiraz, Josh Padley. Yeah, he did all right, bless him. But there are levels to this game, and Stevenson slowly but surely went about the business, gave the paying public what they wanted to see him fight, and then he turned the screw and closed the show, as to be expected. I don't think there's much more I can say about that. Anyone who thought that Josh Padley had a chance of beating Stevenson, well, they had to be friends and family, close friends, because there's never a chance in hell that Josh Padley beats Shakur Stevenson. It's just never going to happen. But you know what? Give Josh Padley credit. He really did give it a go. And he can tell his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren, you know what? One day I fought one of the greatest fighters of this era, which is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson needs his super fight, though. He needs that fight, that career-defining fight. Maybe against a Tank Davis. Maybe against Teofimo Lopez, something like that. He needs that sort of fight and come through that and win it. Let me think what else. I think that's about it, really. That's about it. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments, share the video, and most importantly, like it. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a clean slate for BWTM Sports, the home of undisputed champions. Thank you so much. Have a great night and take care.